Thank you. So to start, I think we can start the event today. So welcome everyone. I am Liliana Pimental. I'm a former Fulbright Humphrey Fellow and a member of the Environmental Peacebuilding Association and its interest group on education. I invite you all to introduce yourself using the chat box by placing your name, the country you are at in this moment, and your interest on this event. We will be delighted to know a bit of all of you. If you are not familiar with impacts and our activities and corrections, I will post in a few the links for our website, where we share information about this group and our next conference to be held in Geneva next year. And by accessing our links and our website, you find amazing amount of resources about environmental peace building, our next events and publications. I am serving today our community as a moderator for the third panel of this series to foster reflections about environmental peacebuilding and education. This event was carefully organized by the co-chairs of the interest group on education, Dr. Nancy Boyer and Roman Boyer, in collaboration with our members. Also, we would like to be thankful for the support of ELI and Impact's staff. And this event is co-sponsored by the University of Delaware. So for the opening remarks today, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Saleem Ali, Chair of the Department of Geography and Spatial Sciences at University of Delaware, where he holds the Blue and Gold Distinguished Professorship in Energy and Environment. He is also a Senior Fellow at Columbia University's Center on Sustainable Investment. Professor Ali received his doctorate in environmental planning from MIT, a master's in environmental studies from Yale, and a bachelor's degree in chemistry with a summa cum laude from Tufts. Professor Ali serves as a member of the GEF, the Global Environmental Facility Science Panel, and the United Nations International Resources Panel. He holds multi-citizenships and an amazing path on researching and practicing ecological conflicts resolution and peace building. His work is registered on several books and articles published. And let's welcome our first speaker, Professor Ali. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pimental. It's a pleasure to connect with you all and to have the University of Delaware co-hosting this event, thanks to my colleague, Dr. Boyer. The mandate that has been set forth for this webinar series in terms of the role of education in environmental peace building is really the fulcrum of all our activities, because it is through education that we are going to have social change. Education is the first step to any kind of applied work as well in the field. And as those of us who are in academia, we have a particular obligation to make sure that environmental peace building is not just a niche course. It's not just something that you provide as a side dish, but it is something that is very much the bread and butter of the entire menu, and it needs to permeate the curriculum. We have been trying to do this through various efforts in terms of ecological literacy programs, where you are able to bring in peace building within larger environmental curricula. We are also trying to find ways by which the entry-level experience for students is one which is experiential. And so through that experiential process, by taking them out in the field, in the environment, you can have conversations about peace building. And that's where a lot of my work has been in terms of the field courses that I've taught with students in the Balkans, for example, taking them across borders with a wonderful organization called International Peace Parks Expeditions, who have also been involved in this effort, with Todd Walters, who has spoken in this series as well. So it's a real pleasure to have this panel today convened. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot from all of you. I won't take more time from the panelists themselves. So over to Dr. Boyer, I think, to move us through the panel introductions.
And actually, I'm turning this back over to Liliana. Thank you, Saleem. What a wonderful introduction, and welcome.
Thank you, Nancy. And thank you, Dr. Saleem, for your introduction and your welcome remarks. And I cannot maybe only by using words to properly stress how delighted we are to have you all, and for having the Professor Patricia Camry both as our Ignite speaker today. I would need much more than a transition minute to introduce her properly in a usual form or in a usual way for this kind of events. So I will make a reference to her humble message when I ask our speakers for her bios. And I will try making it short, just by saying that it's certainly not just a coincidence that this panel has been placed unintentionally on October 20. As we were just talking minutes ago, today is a national holiday celebrating Heroes Day in Kenya. And by her personal and professional path and the honorific titles and the recognition she achieved, not only in her country, but worldwide, as an eminent person and a renowned thinker in the global environment and sustainable development field. And just by these titles and the recognition of her peers, I am sure she is certainly a hero for all those like us, passionate about law, about justice, equality, gender, environment, and education. Just to name a few positions, she was an advocate for a high court in Kenya and the chair of the Department of Private Law at the University of Nairobi. And she's a former dean and professor at law school. She is now serving as a head of law division at the UN Environmental Program. And you can learn more about her and about her most recent work in the links she kindly provided, and I will share in the chat with you as well. Professor Camry and both, please, the floor is yours now.
Thank you very much, Liliana, for a very generous introduction. It's indeed my pleasure to be here. We've had these discussions on environmental peace building for many years, and the people like Carl and others are familiar with the work that they've done. And one of the things that troubled us at the beginning is how you bring in environment into peace building, because environment can both be a cause or source of conflict, but it could also be used as the locus through which people discuss peace. But what I'm going to talk about today is the kinds of challenges that there are when you're teaching skills on environmental peace building in a classroom context. So what I've titled my talk as is identifying and teaching required skills for peace builders and collaboration in teaching and learning. And basically, I begin by noting that peace building education is very critical as we address what has now been identified as the planetary crisis, which is threefold. It covers nature, climate, and pollution. And without peace, it's not going to be possible to deal with that crisis. And it is very important to understand the context or situation where peace is needed. And in many instances, there will be environmental resources in those spaces. When one is teaching environmental peace building, there is the continuous tension between teaching skills and teaching substance, because there will be the environmental issues that people need to understand. There are the peace and conflict issues. There are issues of peace building, and then the interface between these issues. That is the substance on the one hand. Then there's going to be the skills needed. What skills do environmental peace builders need? Mediation, negotiation, communication, trust, listening. And how do you teach that? You know, because in higher education, it's very easy to teach the substance, but how do you teach skills? And of course, we can already see that environmental peace building brings diverse disciplines together. Yet we as academics tend to be experts in our own disciplines. And many times there are very few of us who are cross, multi, trans, or interdisciplinary in our focus on issues. So there'll be common challenges that face both learners and instructors. And the first and foremost is integrating disciplines, which would usually appear in silos because that's how they're taught. And you're trying now to bring them together. There is the question of framing and understanding course expectations in a fluid and dynamic space where no one size fits all. Then there is the unpredictability and uncertainty about the future, because situations where peace is required are actually dynamic. How do you keep teachers and learners motivated and optimistic? And most importantly, how do you meet learner expectations? And I suggest that it's very important in environmental peace building education to have collaboration where teachers and learners collaborate, so that knowledge is not necessarily unidirectional, that the people who come to learn bring in experiences, and those experiences are actually critical in framing what is learned. So for many of us who've taught at universities for a long time, we need to unlearn some of the things we've internalized about teaching, where teaching is akin to pouring information into students who are supposed to take it in and soak it in and then go out and use it. We, both teachers and learners in environmental peace buildings, need to unlearn many things and learn new things. And these calls for a paradigm shift in teaching and learning, where the teacher role is minimized. The teacher is not necessarily the transmitter of knowledge, because you want the learner to also bring in their experiences. The teacher becomes a facilitator of learning, and the learner is also an active participant in the teaching and learning process, and is involved in the construction of knowledge and in the learning design. So if, examples of teaching aims when you're teaching environmental peace building would be you provide information because you need to lay the basis, you explain concepts, you build knowledge, but also you aim to lead to acquisition of skills and attitudes. And then, of course, because these are courses at university level, there is assessment and teaching. I mean, assessment and testing to monitor how well the first three aims have been met. And I think this is where innovation is called for, because many of the learning requires you to know what kinds of practical situations you'll be in. The typical tests that you may have may not be where you ask people questions like how do you may actually have to give problem questions. And the aims will be to ensure that people gain new knowledge and skills, they understand the knowledge gained, that they're able to apply and use the knowledge and skills they gain, but also because they need to move to the next level, that they pass their assessments and tests. And it is very critical then in framing environmental peace building education in the content that is there to have very clear learning outcomes, which are coherent and suitable for the audience, and also well put within the time that is set for teaching the course. But I think environmental peace education also brings in extracurricular needs, because you're going to be dealing with culture differences and shocks. You may also need the learners and instructors to appreciate psychosocial needs, the role of support groups, as that may become important when it comes to practically applying the education. So in essence, environmental peace building education will aim at transmitting knowledge, skills, and attitudes which lead people to become professionals in the area, but also to have attitudes, soft skills, the grit they need to engage and perform, and also continuing professional development as they practice their field. As critical as the content is, there is also the learning design. How does one instruct? Because how one instructs is as important as who is instructed and what is instructed. And this is going to be determined by who are the learners. So if you're teaching at undergraduate level, it's not going to be the same kind of learning design as you would have for postgraduate learners. If you're having a continuing professional development, again, it's going to be different. And you may want to use more of case studies, videos, podcasts, and also practical simulations. And these again speaks to the framework of the learning design. The importance in environmental peace education for an active learning to enable reflection, refinement, change, and communication. People have to be very present because you're dealing with a very dynamic subject area. And depending again on the demographic of the learners, the importance of the instructor to allow the learners to bring their life experiences and knowledge into the learning space. The question of what kind of curriculum, again, the curriculum, because it is multi-trans, multidisciplinary, then importance of innovation, authenticity. And it also needs to be transformative, because you're not dealing with peace studies or with environment, you're bringing them together. And the importance, therefore, of identifying in the disciplines what are the strategic issues and how does one then ensure that from the point that you start to the end, you are being, as the instructor, accountable, and even the learners are accountable for keeping to the objectives and aims of learning. I think when the curriculum for environmental peace building is being developed, it's very critical to have a needs assessment where you have a purpose, scope, and content, then educational design and curriculum development, which looks at standards, choice, planning, and structure, and then delivery, the educational theory, the instructional design, and then evaluation where you review and manage. And this is a cyclical design because it doesn't start and end at one point. It is continuous improvement of learning. In conclusion, I'd like to say that learning is an individual affair and it is the responsibility of the learner. The teacher creates an environment which enables learning to take place through engaging learners in activities. Environmental peacebuilding education requires a transformative approach for effective learning, and that transformation is achieved through the learning design, the right curriculum, and the right sessions and module plans. And this calls for breaking silos between the disciplines to allow for effective learning. And I can't overemphasize the importance of the learning design so that it yields the specified learning outcomes for environmental peace building education, with the aim being to make learning active, to enable reflection, refinement, change, and communication, and also allowing for constructive alignment of the components of the learning framework with what it is that is being taught. So in essence, when you're dealing with the substance and skills, it's very important to not just focus on the one, but to think about how both interact. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Patricia. I would like to invite people who just joined us to go to our Menti using the code and completing the 3 skills you think it's important for peace builders. And I would like to highlight your wonderful remarks, Professor Patricia, especially the portion when you talk about the innovative approach we need, especially because the world is changing so much and faster. So we are now need to deal with the challenges such as cybersecurity, fake news, several other things that can trigger as well more violence and conflicts between different groups. But it can also be used as a tool for innovation and for reach more people and bring more to different audiences, initiatives on peace building and education. So thank you so much for your remarks. We would like to invite our next speaker. Following our program, I want to introduce our first commentator, Dr. Britta Josted, as a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Law of Lund University. She is researching and teaching environmental law and public international law. Her research interests relate to legal issues regarding environmental protection, armed conflict, environmental peace building, and environmental security. In 2019, she received a 3-year grant for early career scholars from Formas to conduct a research project focusing on how international law can foster environmental peace building by integrating environmental concerns in peace building strategies. She is also participating in the interdisciplinary research project Nature of Peace at Lund University, looking at sustainable peace building. Rita is a founding board director of the Environmental Peace Building Association and the co-chair of its law interest group. She is also a member of International Law Association's Committee on role of international law in sustainable natural resource management for development. Welcome, Rita. We are eager for your comments.
Well, thank you very much, Liliana, and also thank you, Patricia, for your excellent talk, and it really opened up the floor for this great topic. I can perhaps try to follow up on that note. I think one of the main challenges that Patricia already have been mentioning is the broad nature of environmental peace building. It's not a topic that easily fits within one single discipline, but it's spread all over several disciplines, and I think that creates one of the main challenges of teaching this topic, and in particular to create a course or designing a syllabi on environmental peace building, because first of all, you need to engage teachers from different disciplines. And the second thing is that you also need these teachers to be able to collaborate and to form a teaching team that actually talks about the same things, or at least that build on what each other's knowledge and have some sort of progression in a course. So I think that is one of the main challenges, to design a course that actually defines what the course will be about. I think environmental peace building is a concept that is quite broad. It could be everything and nothing. It could be everything. So you really need to sit down when you're designing a syllabus in environmental peace building to define what is this particular course about. And you need to make sure that the teachers in that course also are aware of, okay, this is the main focus, and that they talk about more or less the same thing. Being involved in a group of researching environmental peace building from an interdisciplinary approach, you can really see how the encounter between different disciplines are actually talking about different things, and that creates a huge challenge in research, and even more so if you want to design a course with students that in particular if the students are on a lower level, perhaps bachelor level. I think these students are a bit less tolerant if the teachers are contradicting each other or doing different things, while when you go up in the higher level of education, more advanced level, I think then you come to the point when students actually appreciate that teachers might have different views of what environmental peace building is and what it should include. But in any case, I think for the students' sake, you need to have some sort of direction in a course that is not only to ensure that the students choose a course in line with their expectation, but also that they should know what is actually expected from them. So I think the two main challenges is that defining the concept of environmental peace building, finding teachers that are able to teach this discipline, because it is not just a legal field, it's not only a field of political science or sustainability studies. It is really a field that embraces all different disciplines. And another challenge is when you are teaching a topic that is quite broad and that attracts students from various backgrounds, is also to be able to design a course that actually fit many different types of students. So I think when you are designing learning activities, you need to take that into account. I think it's good if you have not only lectures and seminars, but also try to do some various type of teaching, more like mini debates, moot courts, maybe field visits if it's possible, and also to include teachers that are not only from an academic environment, but also having more of a practical background, because I think it's also a topic that is not purely an academic field, but it's also a field that has been formed a lot from practitioners as well. So that would be like my take on this topic on how to teach it. And of course, there are a lot of other things that could be added, but I think I will stop here for now. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rita. Yeah, it's so amazing. We are super on schedule. I think we will have time for great discussions. You brought to so many important things as well. I'm more a practitioner than an academic, and I got interested in environmental peace building exactly by observing how the conflicts regarding huge infrastructure projects were held here in Brazil. And so amazed me some things you bring to the table, especially because we don't see those kind of content addressed in courses such as engineering or things like this. Especially, I have been seeing as well some differences in how this topic is addressed between the universities and the different environments, whether it's research or directing to practitioners between South and the North. So in Brazil, for example, I don't see much of our universities having courses on peace building or mediation as I have seen in other countries. So thank you so much to bring this to the table. And we would like now to go ahead. The Menti is open for the skills, as we have already fulfilled about the challenges. So you are invited to contribute with the skills you think it's important, the people who are in the room now. I want to introduce our last commenter for today, who will share her perspective from the point of view of the students in the field. To complete this variety of information and thoughts and to fuel a little bit more our discussions in the breakout rooms. Sabrina Walter is a doctoral candidate at the chair of sustainability governance of the University of Freiburg in Germany. Her research focuses on the conflict over extractive resources in post-conflict contexts. She has a special focus on Latin America, which makes me very happy. She grounds her research in the fields of political ecology and environmental peace building as tools to understand the shifts in power relations resulting from the implementation of post-conflict extractive resources sector reforms. Sabrina studied political science with a focus on conflict resolution and peace building at Universidad Javeriana in Bogota, Colombia. She also holds a master's in environmental governance from the University of Freiburg in Germany. And so please, Sabrina, take the floor and feel free to share your presentation.
Thank you, Liliana, for the very nice introduction. First of all, thank you to the Education Interest Group for this invitation to speak on today's event. I'm really excited to participate also in the discussions, and I would also like to thank Patricia and Rita for their very interesting interventions. For today, I have prepared a very short presentation just to organize my thoughts, but I would like to point out that I really find it super interesting that I mean, I think I will start my presentation in a moment, but I really find it very interesting that I think that both faculty members, professors with a lot of experience, and now in my case, students, were going in the same direction regarding what skills and what skills are needed and what challenges are we having in relation to teaching environmental peace building in study programs, right? And I really find this maybe a very nice thing to see that we're going on the same road. And maybe in the future we will see a master's or a bachelor program in environmental peace building as we are thinking about it at the moment. So for my presentation, which I promise is going to be very short, I will base my presentation on my experience as a student, as a bachelor student, as a graduate student at the moment, but also as a teaching assistant for the Masters on Environmental Governance at the University of Freiburg, where I actually at the moment am teaching a course or supporting the teaching process of the environmental conflict and management module. And I am actually one of the lecturers that is trying to include environmental peace building within the syllabi for the master's program, because I really think it is a very important topic if you are working on environmental topics or environmental conflicts, right? So in that sense, I prepared my presentation taking into consideration my experience, and also these two guiding questions that were sent to us in the concept note. So what skills professors may observe themselves while teaching environmental peace building, and also what are the challenges that students face once they want to develop a career path in environmental peace building. So regarding the skills, this is something that already Professor Saleem mentioned at the beginning of the session, and it's about practice-oriented teaching, right? We already know that environmental peace building problems are very complex, not only to understand, but also because they are set in very, so to say, difficult settings, right? And I do think that it is very important because of these reasons that teaching extends beyond the classroom, right? So that students can make a clear connection between theory and practice. And it is also very relevant that students learn from real world problems, right? For example, through short excursions, right? I'm not saying that students should go from, I don't know, students from Europe should go to Latin America, but I mean, you could also visit, I don't know, a national park or a wind farm, right? And then try to experience and talk to real people about the environmental conflicts that surround them. This is really important to understand and to link theory and practice, which is so important for environmental peace building. My second point is that, well, environmental peace building programs should try to promote collaborative research. We all, like our participants before already mentioned this. And this especially because environmental peace building feeds itself not only from the work done by scholars, but also from the work done by practitioners. And I do think that it is very important as a student that universities engage students in research projects with, for example, other universities from other countries, but also with different organizations, different types of organizations, and with doctoral and postdoctoral students. Right, I think that we could also benefit a lot from the contributions that students can make to doctoral students and postdoctoral fellows. And another thing that I find very important, that I struggled a lot as well during my studies, was that it was really hard to find an organization or to connect for example, my master's thesis to an organization that was interested in what I was also interested in doing my master's thesis on, right? So I do think that university programs should try to at least facilitate that students complete their thesis with these organizations, because I think it's very like an incentive, for example, for students to see that their research is going to be useful to an organization. The third point is to consider transdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research. We already also mentioned this, but well, as I mentioned before, environmental peace building problems are very complex. And I do think that, I mean, at least in the case of Colombia, that especially bachelor programs are very much oriented towards individual disciplines, and environmental peace building problems, as was mentioned before, really need to be understood from different perspectives, right? And students need to learn how to overcome these disciplinary borders in order to analyze, conceptualize, and work with environmental peace building problems, right? You need to learn that. And for example, in my master programs where I also, the master programs that I did and where I also work as a teaching assistant, we have, for example, a joint module where we bring together students from environmental sciences and from environmental governance, which is a social science master's. And we just bring them and make them analyze through an entire module, an environmental conflict. And this has had really interesting results in the past because students really bring their different perspectives and bring them in conversation, right? These different perspectives, they start to talk about these perspectives, and they come together with a possible solution or analysis of the conflict. And this, I think, can be a solution to promoting transdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research in a very simple way. My last point regarding the skills is that I really do think that multi-method research in environmental peace building study programs should be included. Environmental peace building has already done a lot to diversify the methods used in order to approach different research problems. But I do think that this diversity of multi-methods and also how to do multi-method research is missing in many of the syllabi of especially bachelor programs, right? And if we want to have a generation of environmental peace building scholars that do relevant research in the field, I think it's a very important skill to learn how to do multi-method research, right? I didn't have that, and I would have appreciated that before I started my PhD. Regarding the challenges, very short, I think that there is still a lot of difficulty to access areas where most of the environmental peace building initiatives take place, not only because it is very expensive, but also because most of the students lack a connection to the areas where environmental peace building initiatives take place. This is something that I have seen also a lot with students from the master's program, and this is why I also emphasize the need to have collaborative research opportunities, because this allows for students already in an early moment of their careers to engage with an organization, and this then can provide them access to the field, access to resources, and this really facilitates research. Unfortunately, there's also still very limited opportunities to get paid internships, and I really think that this discourages many students to have an experience and to participate in many important organizations that are doing environmental peace building work, not only because, I mean, they're working for the organization that should get paid, but also because many need the resources for their own support. So I think this is also an important challenge. A third challenge is that I see in many universities there is still a mismatch between the time allotted to the students by universities to do an internship and the time offered by organizations to do the internship, right? This, for example, happened to me where my master's program only allowed me to do a 3-month internship, and the organization where I wanted to do my internship, actually, which is doing a lot of or very important environmental peace building work, only allowed for internships of at least 6 months. And this really puts a lot of limitations to students to enter or to learn what environmental peace building work actually looks like in these organizations. And my last point is that processes to get funding as a student are very time consuming and cumbersome. This again happened to me. It took one and a half years for me to get my funding for my PhD. And I've seen that only really motivated students that want to really are motivated to do a specific, or to work on a specific topic, or really want to do a PhD, then continue doing all of this process to get the funding. And others are just discouraged and end up shifting career paths just because they don't have the time or the resources to spend a lot of time, again, looking for scholarships. And with that, thank you very much. And I am very happy to start our discussion.
Thank you, Sabrina, for sharing your view and your experience on this field. It's really very important. You bring so many things. Larry just put a nice comment in the chat. He maybe not be with us, but he put a nice comment for you in the chat. So thank you, Larry, for this. It's very nice to listen from all of you. I think Sabrina brought so many important points from the student's perspective as well. And I will share with you in a few the results of our mentee. But I would like to invite Professor Patricia, Brita, and Professor Ali as well, if you have anything to comment on each one talks or speaks before we go to the breakout room. So feel free to open your mics and make your comments before the breakout rooms.
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity. I think one of the key sort of milestones we should aim for is having some degree programs in environmental peace building, which were highlighted as potential targets, whether it is at the undergraduate level or at the postgraduate level. So how we should do that is an intriguing question, because we have so many different demands for new programs now with climate change and global environmental change research. I do think what I started with initially, I do think that we should also have a parallel strategy of having cross-cutting environmental literacy around peace building. And I think that universities are increasingly having what they call ecological literacy requirements. And within those ecological literacy requirements, just like they have diversity requirements, we should build peace building within the curriculum so that all students get some sampling of that. So I think that would be an important parallel effort to undertake.
Professor Patricia, do you have anything to add on this?
Yes, I think one of the things that I've wondered about as an educator is how you can get all students, it doesn't matter what discipline they're in, to have some knowledge of environmental studies. And I think coming from the part of the world where I come from, I think peace also, because conflict is so much part of our lives. So it would be good to have everybody, you know what, when they talk about obligatory courses, which would be common courses, so that people have a foundation upon which they could go on to do environmental peace building courses in later years in the undergraduate program, or even to then get into graduate programs in environmental peace building. And as long as we don't have, I think what Professor Saleem is calling ecological literacy, it's going to be very difficult to have effective environmental peace building education.
Professor Brita, if you have anything to add, please feel free.
Oh, thank you very much. No, I think it's already been highlighted here, but of course, I think the research on this area is really like the key to also pave the way for education. I think that's really what you saw with, for instance, transitional justice, how that topic sort of started more as a research topic, and then it has paved the way to become also a topic for education. So I think by having more and more funding for doing this type of research on environmental peace building, that will also help creating education opportunities by, for instance, establishing centers for environmental peace building. That's something I would love to see here at my own university, and that could be like the starting point to actually also initiate education in this field. And I was just thinking when I saw Sabrina's presentation and saying that you can go to like the fields, you don't have to be in an area of conflict to see environmental peace building in practice. I think I'm teaching Swedish environmental law, and Sweden is a peaceful country, but still you see exactly the same type of conflicts here. For instance, when a mine is opening, you see the local communities are protesting. There are like fears for how this mine will affect the water quality and access to water. And then you have like the other side, that this will create opportunities for work and this is development. So you don't need to go to a conflict zone to study this type of problems. They are occurring everywhere in the world, perhaps not with the same stakes, of course, but like a mini version you can see even in countries like Sweden.
Thank you, Professor. We are also thanking the people who are putting nice comments in the chat. I would like also to share with you the results of our Menti questions. So the 3 fundamental skills for peace builders, as we see, people are highlighting a lot about the adaptability, which is important when we don't have sometimes funding or even understanding of what is peace building and how it fits in the research or in our field of work. I would like also to highlight this as a kindergarten teacher for a lot of years. I think several of these skills we will not see at the university level if we don't work as well on the kids. So in very early education. So those transformations, doesn't matter if you are in a place hit by a conflict, or if you are in a place like Brazil where you have conflict, you have violence, you have environmental problems, but doesn't look like just because we don't have a war in the common sense going on, but we are as violent as many other places. And if kids are raised in this environment of distrust, protection, a lack of collaboration, we will not have these skills developed into the society, and so in the university level. So one thing I would love that universities look at, and maybe it can collaborate, like Professor Ali stressed, in environmental literacy as well, is to work not only in the law or international relations, or even like we are trying in urban planning and engineering, but pedagogy, other kind of courses where sometimes we don't have this offering on peace building and environmental knowledge so broadly offered. So those are the skills. And the challenges for peace builders. So people see more challenges than, than skills needed. So the challenges are a lot of what Sabrina was saying, practical experience. So create this is important. And when we look to the numbers of the SDGs and how we are offering, there are some comments in the chat about the opportunities to study abroad and be in touch with other cultures and have other experiences and practices. And when we look at the SDGs numbers regarding education, what we see is exactly the number of scholarships being offered and access to university level is decreasing. And we are not being able to follow the needs, and they are decreasing, especially in Latin America, Africa, South Asia, in a lot of places where we are seeing now more conflicts and the need for peace builders to be trained. So when we look at the numbers, it's very worrisome. So those are the collaborations and the contributions. Thank you so much for this. I will stop sharing now, and I will invite you all to join the breakout rooms. I think this topic is so vast and so big, and there are so many approaches we can take to speak and to address and to think about the skills needed, the challenges, what kind of skills are needed, because some of them we can talk about, but we may not be teaching how you teach empathy. You can talk about empathy, but how can you teach this? Maybe by example, but how can you assure your student is getting more empathic or is listening better, or things like this? It's very difficult. So I would like, we have opportunity to go to the breakout rooms and network a little bit and share our comments in small groups and come back to report. So I would like that every group decide one report, one person to report later on when we come back to the main room. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Group 2.
I'm not sure who was, maybe us, but I can pick up on.
Go ahead, go ahead.
All right. So luckily in my group, it happened nice thing that we had a Colombian, a Serb, and Ukrainian that are working in Germany, Mexico, and Canada. So a lot of international experience also there, and a lot of focus on of course, education, because we also have Sabrina with us in our group. So we spoke about the access to funding for people who have good ideas, and maybe using professional groups that are in charge of bringing all together and having a good overview of the access to funding, and maybe even paying a small fee that would then pay out by simply using the access and the knowledge that these groups have to get the exactly targeted funds for the research ideas or more practical ideas and projects that you have. The problem of continued education, that we do have experts being created, but then some point they stop being educated as they go too much to practice, or people of high level of interest through either multiple online open courses, but then there is a problem of formality and recognition, right, of those certificates that we in the end of the day get via those ones, via MOOCs, not to make sure throughout the educational programs to get the reduction of the practical skills, so not to be overly research and theoretical orientated, but then there's a problem of the access to the real knowledge, going out there, facing the complex real world problems, and how do we then get us first professors to be ready to do that kind of thing, and how do we get on board, this is additional part that we spoke actually the last Wednesday, How do we get on board the institutions themselves and face challenges such as security, for example, in Colombia or in Mexico, when you go to do the practice, which by the definition of our field, environmental peace building, is as such. Maybe not anymore in the Balkans and the problems that we have heard the last Wednesday programs, but in countries that are facing ongoing conflict and security issues, that would be a big problem. How to find the jobs afterwards. So if we train people in educational environmental peace building, how do we guarantee that they are going to have the job opportunities? And I pointed out that this is even more of significance for developing countries, where we don't have necessarily UN agencies, institutions, civil society organizations, governmental institutions that are focusing on environmental peace building. It's still on the process of rising. And so how do you convince someone that you are the candidate for that job when they don't know even what you as a international relations scholars are supposed to be doing? So we who study international relations, we have sometimes problems to convince what the hell we know, not to say like something new fields that are still rising and becoming more popular. And usually we face kind of second or third elderly people who are supposed to be employing us, who have traditional, more educational background, to guarantee, to make sure that in these courses we have interdisciplinarity, that we offer environmental peace building related courses, but that we make sure that we do have traditional knowledge and skills, that if people don't manage to get in NPAC's kind of area, sorry, in environmental peace building, that they can kind of use their knowledge and negotiation skills in some other areas, and how to bridge the research and practice, so that we are not only focused on research, but that also we, us as the researchers, as scholars, that we actually get the chance to go out there and to use either our skills or engage our students in addressing the practical problems from practice.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nicola. And I would like to welcome you to the Water Group as well. And we appreciate your comments and your group. Sheila, do you want to talk something about our group number 3?
Yeah, I would love to. So I would say a lot of our conversation focused, and of course, Liliana and Patricia, please feel free to add to it. We talked a lot about just the impacts of COVID-19 on the current generation of students, and how it's going to shape their educational experiences and of course their later experiences as practitioners moving forward. So, you know, for all of us, we spoke a lot about how, you know, in-person classes and the university experience, building skills with other folks who have interests similar to you, or who have learning patterns that are similar to you, is kind of a baseline foundation and experience for a lot of us as we grow older, and it's a touchstone for a lot of us to connect on. But for the current and modern age of students who are learning online, first of all, a lot of learning types, or a lot of types of learners, are not being attended to in a way that's efficient for them. They're not able to connect with folks in the same way that in-person classes allow for. And so that differentiation skill is going to be something we'll see moving forward, and something that you know, pedagogically needs to be addressed in the virtual environment. And we also talked a little bit about the inequalities that come from the virtual learning environment and that impact on students. Particularly, you know, of course, not everyone has access to internet or a computer, especially, you know, at off hours, if they have to go somewhere to get internet connection, if they can only connect on their phones. These create really different experiences. And so trying to think through how, you know, educators can address these kinds of issues moving forward, and then even afterwards, when we are starting to come out of the pandemic, will be a big consideration.
Thank you, Sheila. And if Professor Patricia wants to jump and add something, feel free. Otherwise, we go to the group 4.
Okay, group 4, I'm reporting out. We focused a lot on Britta's comment about the difficulty of finding research money. And we're noting the contrast now with environmental peace building being an emerging field, that in some other fields, a professor sets up a lab, like in psychology or biology or physics. And so the funding is pre-existing, and the student, a graduate student in particular, is recruited to come in and work in that lab. So we thought that a resource, sort of following up on what Nicola was saying about maybe reaching out to professional organizations. We thought that maybe the Environmental Peacebuilding Association could develop a resource, a database of professors who have grants that they would like to recruit students to come and join in meeting the obligations. And so we thought it would be an amazing resource to have a list of professors. And some of these might be in conflict studies departments, for example, but not specifically environmental peace building at this point. And then we would, so the resource base could also include description of what the total degree package is at that university where the professor is. Then we also began talking a bit about, we also talked about how there's availability of institutions to have internships, so that, which is not the same as getting money for a degree, but still the possibility, and we talked about several places that would be good for internships. And then we moved on to a discussion of the role of politics in environmental peace building. And so we just raised that for awareness. One of our group was from India, Pakistan, and the other from Israel, Palestine. So both are very aware of the role of politics in have less than optimal or less than desirable situation for the time being, but moving to work through environmental peace building to at least meet the needs of people as much as possible. So
thank you so much, Nancy. Anything else?
Is that my group?
Thank you so much. I would love to thank you all for, we are already past the 3 minutes for our time, according to what I'm seeing. So I don't want to hold you longer, but I think it was a great panel and a lot of nice discussions, and it shows how many different perspectives and topics we have to address on this. So we went from the different conceptions of these courses, the different perceptions what people have about the field, and how we can connect this from different perspectives like cultural, religious, or several other manners to address environmental peace building. The problems with the funding and the fees of higher education, especially because we are facing from the COVID difficult times regarding economic in several countries and all over the world, and it will last for a long time. So it's a complex situation to work. And the idea of work on this on different countries and pay attention on the intergenerational aspect is important. And I love the idea of database from the group 4. I think it would be wonderful. And I would suggest, as someone out from the academic environment, like the formal academic environment, that we can look to this database also, not only the courses offered everywhere and the kind of courses, but we will have to think in a way to also measure the quality of this education being offered, because negotiation, mediation is becoming a trend, and we have a lot of courses popping up, and we have to pay attention with the quality of this information that is coming on. So I would love to thank you all. The floor is open if anyone wants to say a last word, and I am very grateful to participate, grateful for Nancy to invite me, and for our speakers and our audience to be for so long.
Thank you, Liliana. It was really terrific moderating, and thank you to all the panelists, especially Professor Kamari Mabota and Britta and And Sabrina, really thank you for a wonderful time, and all participants, really fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you next week.